back to my channel, and welcome to my postpartum update vlog. I am now 15 and a half months postpartum, so like my birth story video, I've had to make quite a lot of notes. So if you see me glancing down, which you probably will quite a bit, it is to look at my notes. I've also got Rosie on the monitor here. I may have to go up to her, she's poorly again. Toddlers, they're always poorly, aren't they? So yeah, she's there and you might hear her coughing. But yeah, I thought that we would just talk about all things postpartum really, starting from the beginning up until now. I've already filmed my birth story, that's already on my channel. And so I won't go into the birth too much, but if you did want to watch that, I will link it in the description, just so you sort of know what the starting baseline was. But yeah, let's jump into bodily change at the moment. And I'm not going to talk numbers or anything like that. I haven't weighed myself and I will not weigh myself. I don't really believe in that. I think it's just a number. I much prefer to think about how my body feels and looks rather than what the scales say. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about numbers, so don't worry. But yeah, so firstly, so with my birth, I ended up needing stitches. I had a 2nd degree tear, which honestly, I'm sure most people don't feel the tearing, and I didn't. The stitching, getting stitched up, was a little bit uncomfortable. But I did have Rosie on me, and she was breastfeeding, I think, at the time. Or was she? Still so hazy. I think she was on me and breastfeeding at the time. But yeah, so they stitched me up and it was all fine. And honestly, I never looked at them after birth, and I also didn't notice them so much, but there is so much swelling in that area for the first few weeks that I had nothing to compare it to, if that makes sense. I didn't know what it would feel like if I didn't have stitches. All I remember feeling is just the swelling. So it didn't necessarily sting too much when I weed. I always tried to make sure I was really hydrated. I think hydration is key. And yeah, I personally didn't notice them. I did everything they said about like to avoid infection, like keeping it dry and all those sorts of things, but my experience, I didn't notice them. So yeah, the toilet stuff got easier around the week and a half mark. So again, hydration is key, lots of fibre, and just relaxing. Give yourself that time. Don't I remember thinking about it and overly thinking about it, and looking back now, like in hindsight, I would definitely just relax. Just relax your body. It's got to happen at some point. Just make sure that you just hydrated. Just stay hydrated. Hydrated is key, especially when you're breastfeeding as well. If you are breastfeeding, then you need to hydrate for that reason anyway. So yeah, I would recommend being hydrated. Stretch marks. I got quite a few on my stomach when I was pregnant with Rosie, and postpartum, well, actually during birth, I gained more on my inner thighs, which weren't there before I gave birth to Rosie. So I don't know whether that's a common thing. I haven't actually researched that, thinking about it. But yeah, after birth, I noticed I had stretch marks on my inner thighs. So yeah, that's something new. They were very dark at the beginning, but now they're very faded. I will try and include like pictures along the way so you guys can see. But yeah, they're really faded now. I can barely remember what my stomach looked like before them, to be quite honest. So yeah, not really too unhappy with that. I've got, okay, and then back. So where was I? I was talking about stretch marks, but then what goes hand in hand with stretch marks is like looser skin. So I've definitely got looser skin on my stomach. The thing with me is my body doesn't really hold on to fat, and So I'm one of those people that a lot of people call lucky, but it irritates me a lot of the time, is I lose weight very quickly. So yeah, I just struggle to maintain it. So the looser skin on my stomach, I feel looks even looser because it's just like kind of saggy. But yeah, anyway, moving on. My weight is roughly the same weight as pre-pregnancy, I'd assume, because I'm fitting into all of my pre-pregnancy clothes, which is great, but they don't, even though that I fit in them, they do not feel the same, which is something that I've actually struggled with for a while. My skinny jeans, which I used to live in, feel too tight around my hips. So my hips, obviously, with childbirth, they do stretch, widen. So they fit me legs and bum wise, but my actual like hips, they're real tight around them. So I'm quite gutted about that because they were my Levi's jeans. I had 2 pairs and they were like my holy grail of jeans. Yeah, they were just my favourite pair, both of them. And I still wear them, but they just don't feel the same, which is quite sad. And my mum jeans I also loved are too baggy now around my waist. My weight's been fluctuating since I've had Rosie, and like along with mum stress, I've also had like solo parenting stress with my partner Matt deploying every now and then. And when that sort of thing happens, I tend to just forget to eat. I'm also one of those people that I don't tend to have that thing in my head telling me to eat or like I'm hungry. I will every now and again, which is great, but a lot of the time I really don't. If I'm doing something, I genuinely will forget to eat. So yeah, there's been a few times where I've gotten too slim. I'm like, ugh. And then it's a real effort to put it back on. So yeah, I am back in my pre-pregnancy clothes, but they just don't feel the same. And I do desperately want to basically get rid of all my clothes and buy some more. I wish, if money would allow. Hair loss. I had a lot of hair loss in the first few months, I'd say, after having Rosie. But then since then, it literally felt like overnight it just stopped, and I've just kept this now. Obviously you get your usual amount when you brush your hair out, but the amount that I was losing after birth was horrific. I know like you don't really shed much hair when you're pregnant, but oh my god, they make up for it after you had the baby, don't they? It was crazy. It like almost scared me. I was like in the shower like, what the hell? Oh god. Yeah, periods. We're going to talk periods now. I'm kind of hoping with the title of this video that family members have not really clicked on this, because I am going to be going a bit TMI, and I feel like we'd both feel uncomfortable knowing that you've watched it. So if you have clicked on, sorry, kindly click off now. That would be great. Oh dear. So yeah, periods. They returned about, I think, I wrote down 6 or 7 months. I genuinely don't remember. I think it was around the 6-7 month mark. I was hoping for a bit longer without them, because it is bliss without them, isn't it? Makes everything a lot easier. But then I felt like I was also constantly waiting until I got my period. But yeah, since then, actually, I found my periods to be a lot more manageable than they were pre-pregnancy. So I actually got pregnant with Rosie on the mini pill, which I was on a mini pill due to my mum having a stroke. So there's a certain element to the pill that I wasn't allowed. So I either had my choices of having the depot injection, the mini pill, or I think what's this? The one that goes in your arm. I can't remember the name of it. I tried the depot. I had that for a year and a half, and I had a constant period for a year and a half. the idea of this one does not do it for me. I can't do it. So I had the mini pill, and for years it was perfect for me. I didn't notice any mood changes or anything, and I would sometimes have a period, I sometimes wouldn't, and for a long time I didn't have a period, and it was great. But yeah, I actually fell pregnant with Rosie while I was on the pill, and it was the best thing that's ever happened. Like, both Matt and I agree, like, we don't count her as like an accident. We think that she was truly meant to be in our lives, and we're so thankful that she is. But yeah, I was actually told, I think it was only about 2 months before I fell pregnant with Rosie, that the mini pill that I was on, it was like a review for it, and the doctor said that it was the most unreliable pill there was, and then I proved him right. So yeah, like I said, we're over the moon, overjoyed, like so happy that we have her. But yeah, when I did get my periods on the pill, I found them to be really tricky, and since coming off, I haven't gone back on the pill actually, sorry, I meant to mention that as well. Since having Rosie, I haven't gone back onto any contraceptives, like hormonal ones. I don't really want to do that anymore, because I definitely want another baby, so I don't really want to go popping all these hormones into me and possibly affecting it, which might sound silly, but yeah, we both agreed that was the best thing to do. Considering the pill didn't actually work anyway, so what's the point? But yeah, I found that my periods now that I've not got any like added hormones in me are way more regular. Like, I actually know when I'm gonna get them. I have one really bad day right at the very start, the first day. It's horrible, but then the rest of it, it's just so much more manageable, and I will take that over having a period here, having a period there, having a period there, and them all being awful. I much prefer the regularity of them. Okay, so yeah, in conclusion, with like my body, it's a work in progress. I am definitely on like a journey of self-love with my body. It has been many times in this last 15 and a half months where I have looked at myself and really not liked what I've seen in the mirror. I've not done any exercise since having her either, and that's something that I really want to try and do, but I struggle with finding the time at the moment. I really do. But I will get there. I follow like Busy Bee CARYS on Instagram and like her YouTube channel, and her like self-love journey that she's had since having Amber, her daughter, has really like inspired me to see my body in a different light. So if you don't follow her, give her a follow, because it has completely changed the way that I feel and think about my body, and I'm starting to actually kind of love it and admire it and be thankful of it. So yeah, highly recommend her if you are struggling with your body. But yes, that's that for my body talk. I'm gonna also touch a little bit on mental health, because I feel like every parent, not just mums, but every parent will struggle at some point with their mental health. After having a baby, those first few, I was gonna say weeks, but probably months, are very hard. Like, speaking as a mum, the 4th trimester was very hard. I'm actually finding right now very hard mentally. But at the beginning, I was very lucky. I didn't experience baby blues or get postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety. I had an amazing support system in my boyfriend Matt. He was amazing. And I felt very supported. Obviously there were days where I was very emotional, and very sleep deprived. Oh my god, the sleep deprivation is next level. It's enough to put you off wanting another baby. I definitely still want another baby, because I know how amazing it is, but just sleep deprivation is enough to be like, do I want to do that again? I didn't and still don't fully understand my mental health surrounding or after my birth, because it's gone real up and down, and it goes quite hand in hand with Matt being away a lot of the time, so doing a lot of it on my own, and a lot of it at the beginning was also during all the COVID restrictions, so baby groups weren't on, everything was online. I moved to a new city where I didn't know anyone, no family really that close by, so yeah, I'd say I struggled a lot. But when the baby groups opened up again, things definitely improved. I got to meet other moms and see other babies and feel less of an anomaly. Like, I just felt like Google was my best friend. I was Googling everything because I didn't really have anyone besides like my mum or like friends that I've had kids before, like to talk to about it. And yeah, I Googled everything, which isn't really, it's not recommended, is it? Not to Google. So yeah, it really did peak and trough, and I don't understand it. And a few months ago I did speak, this was at Rosie's 1 year review actually, or was it just before? No, it was just before her 1 year review. So it was quite a few months ago now. I spoke to the health visitor, and each time we had seen her leading up to that point, I had mentioned that I was struggling a bit with down days. And then at her, just before her 1 year review, she did an assessment on me, and she did actually refer me to some sort of like self-help counselling. I haven't done it. She thought I was dealing with some sort of anxiety surrounding doing a lot of it on my own with Matt being away. And I do agree. I think it is a huge thing to deal with on my own. I don't honestly know how single parents do it all the time on their own. Yeah, superheroes. Like, yeah. Honestly, I don't know how you do it. I think I would drown. You just don't get a break, and that's what I struggle with. Is I am not good on sleep deprivation. I don't know how many people are, but I am not. But recently, since Matt left 2 weeks ago now, today, I've actually done quite a lot of incorporated a lot of changes to try and improve my mental health and just my overall mood. I'm very much, I love staying in my pyjamas in the morning. I don't want to get ready and go out first thing in the morning. I just want to stay cozy and eat my breakfast and have a brew and just chill out in the morning. But with Rosie, she's not that kind of person. She very much loves the outdoors. So we've actually started getting up, getting dressed and going out pretty early doors, whether that's to go and get the food shopping or just to go for a walk and go to the park. We've done that, and actually I have noticed that has done wonders for me. Like, I am so much more motivated for the day and happier and calmer. I've got more patience with Rosie, because if we stay in, she is just a windbag. She just wants to be outside. She'll bring her shoes to me constantly. She'll bring my shoes to me constantly. And there are still some times where I'm like, I really don't want to go out. Like, I really, really don't. But when I've done it, oh my god, I'm so much happier. And Rosie's so much happier. So yeah, if you are like me and you struggle with your mood, get out the house, get out and get that fresh air. And I hope that it does for you as it does for me, and it does change my day and my outlook on the day. So that's really, really helped my mental health. It really has. Another thing that I struggled with was feeling like I had completely lost me, like I'd lost Bethany and I was now just mum, and not feeling like I had anything to do with me. Like, I know I'm more than just mum, I'm also like Matt's girlfriend and all those sorts of things, but day to day I felt like I was just mum, and that was that. But since starting YouTube, actually, I feel like I've got more of me back, and yeah, I don't know how to put it, but YouTube basically has really helped me find me again in small amounts here and there. I'm getting there, so I'm really appreciated for this platform. And yeah, and Matt, again, I can't really speak highly enough of him. He makes me feel good about my body. He makes me feel good about how I am as a mum, how I am as a girlfriend, how I am as Bethany. Like, he always knows what to say, and he'll do it without me asking him to as well. Yeah, he will always do it unprompted. He'll notice that I'm feeling some sort of way, and he will either, if he's away, he'll send me a text. If he's with me, he will tell me. So yeah, having a boyfriend like him is, what's the word? I'm very lucky, put it that way. Actually, my friend of mine, who is also on YouTube, I will link her channel below. She is amazing, she's absolutely lovely. But she actually asked me a question on my Instagram and said, how has your relationship been since having Rosie? I know having a baby can be such a big strain. And what did I write down? Just double check. Yeah, so it has changed our relationship. We were only together for like 5 months officially when we fell pregnant with Rosie. So we were very much in the honeymoon stage, I'd say, of our like relationship. But we also, it was like we had like three months of being able to go out, and then COVID hit. So we spent, so we actually spent quite a lot of our relationship in isolation together. So we got to know each other really well then, and we knew even early on that this was it. Like, we had found what we wanted in a partner in each other, and we were just like two giddy teenagers, really. Honestly, like, he's my best friend and the love of my life, so, and he still is. So in some ways Rosie has brought us closer together. I love watching him and Rosie. It's my favourite thing ever, is watching those two, and it makes my heart like swell with love. I just love it. I wish I could watch them together all the time. With Rosie, it is harder to find times to be like intimate. I'll touch more on that in a minute, but yeah, we struggle in that sense. And because of that, sometimes we're both very much like physical touch. We love physical touch. We love a cuddle and a kiss and everything now and then. And if we don't get it, we both seem to get quite snappy. So yeah, that we both need to work on that. We've said it before, like, there's been times where it'll get to midday and one of us will be like, we've not even said I love you yet. We haven't even given you a kiss, or we haven't given a cuddle. And we're like, oh yeah. And it's just like, you just sort of forget. It's weird, I can't really describe it, considering at one point you were each other's worlds, and then suddenly you have a joint world in another person that you just sort of forget each other sometimes. But we're working really hard to try and stop that, because obviously with him being away so much, we really want to keep our connection when he is home. It is also strained at times with sleep deprivation and his job. So like, with the sleep deprivation, he will, thankfully, sometimes, he's always like there in the night. I always get up with her. Well, I say always, 9 times out of 10 I'll get up with her, because she generally still wants boobing back to sleep. but if he is home, he will always, pretty much always, if I need him to, like put like a reassuring hand on me, or just like rub my back or something, like just to let me know that he is like with me, like he's there in solidarity. And on the odd occasion when I just cannot get her back to sleep, he will go and rock her for like half an hour, bless him, and then lay her down and then stand over her crib with his hand on her back for another like half an hour to make sure she's really asleep. So yeah, he's brilliant in that sense. And he'll also, like, if we've had a very bad night with her, he will then also get up with her in the morning for me to let me get some more sleep, which is amazing. I also get real FOMO though. I'm like, oh, but I want to be down there with you both. I think that's part of, like, because he's away so much, I'm like, when he's home I want to see them together and I want to be a part of it. But yeah, so what else is there? Yeah, it's strange with his job, because I almost sometimes I'm like, when I'm having a hard day with Rosie, I'm like, well, you're fine, you get to sleep through the night, you get to sit down and have a cup of coffee without someone screaming at you, you don't have to sit on the floor all the time and play games, blah 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 blah. And I get Mardy, I get Mardy, and he puts up with it. He really does, bless him, because I know that he'd rather be home, even though I'm saying all these things to him. I know that he would rather be home helping me and actually being with her and being with me, rather than being on a ship. And I also know when I'm saying it that I wouldn't want to be in his shoes either. I would rather be home with Rosie. So yeah, there's that. It's different, but it's also, I'd say, better. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it as that. So again, family, if you haven't clicked off yet, please click off now. So under the umbrella of like intimacy, so like I said, Matt and I are very much physical touch people. We really like, we need each other, like we need each other to be close. And it's quite funny that we're both like that. Oh god, yeah, so from the beginning after birth, you're meant to wait 6 weeks, isn't it, is the guideline for like actually having sex. I think we waited just under 6 weeks because I sort of felt ready. Oh my god, my back was cracked, that was nice. And I honestly, I've heard a lot of horror stories and I was expecting a horror story, but like I said, this is 15.5 months ago, so I could be wrong, but I don't remember feeling too much pain. It was uncomfortable. And I wasn't relaxed, I was very tense, I was waiting for the pain. But again, like, if you have a partner like Matt who is just very understanding and communicates with you, I feel like you're gonna have a better experience, because he was constantly asking me if I'm okay, if it hurt, like what can he do to like make it better, and all those sorts of things. Yeah, I don't remember it being too painful, which I know I assume that's quite lucky. I'm not going to go too TMI on this, by the way. Sorry, my back's really sore from sitting on the sofa like this. I hadn't planned to film in here, but I really wanted to get my video up for Monday, so here we are. The lighting is the only place in here that works. So I would say sex is just as good as pre-pregnancy now. It's less frequent, obviously, and yeah, it's less frequent, but it is still, doesn't feel any different as it did before. It's just in different places. Like I said, with Rosie, we struggle with noise around her, so our bed is very squeaky, so we have to get imaginative of where we do things, but to kind of like keep the spark alive, you just do it, don't you? You just try and find a way to feel that connection with that person. Oh, that's us personally, and that in our case we need that sort of connection. to reconnect, if that makes sense. Like we found sometimes that if we're bickering quite a lot, it will tend to go hand in hand with not finding time to be intimate with each other, because following the intimate act, I always find that we tend to talk a lot afterwards as well. Like phones go away, TV goes off, and we'll have like deeper conversations. So it's not just like the physical act of getting connected, but also like emotionally connecting again, and just the whole like umbrella of intimacy. Just yeah. So yeah, in a nutshell, sex life is still good. I've not noticed like my sex drive to be any more or less. Tiredness doesn't help, so that's why it's less frequent as well. Is some days both of us are just far too exhausted. He travels a lot for his job, so that's another element to it. I have bad body image days, which then also factor into it. But again, he's so understanding and he'll often talk me around. So I love watching him with Rosie. That always helps as well. There's something just so attractive about my boyfriend being with my daughter. I just find it really hot. I don't know if that's exposing myself here or not. I really don't know. I'm probably going red. I'm feeling really hot talking about it because I'm embarrassed. Which it shouldn't, it's not a taboo subject, or it shouldn't be a taboo subject. It's just realities of after a baby. Like these are the sorts of things that I know I thought about. I was like, what will like sex feel like after? What is my mental health going to be? What is my body going to look like? So yeah, I'm just sort of trying to incorporate a bit of realness and a bit of an insight into our relationship as well, and then also my relationship with my body. And yeah, I feel like now at 15 and a half months I am at a fairly decent place. I feel like I wouldn't really think about my body as being postpartum anymore. Obviously I'll always have the stretch marks and the loose skin and the saggier boobs. I have small boobs, but I've still got saggy ones now from breastfeeding, which is fantastic. Thanks, Rosie. But yeah, I don't really know how to end this video. In a nutshell, postpartum has been a whirlwind, and I would do it all again in a heartbeat, and I could look forward to doing it again in a heartbeat when we're lucky enough and in a position to have another baby. And I can't wait for that day. I really, really can't. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that here. I hope this has been informative. I'm not really sure. It feels rushed, but it's not. I promise you, I've thought about this, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. If you did like this video, then please will you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I really appreciate it if you do. It really helps me out and just lets me know that you do like these sorts of videos. And I said I'm really enjoying it, so it just gives me that extra boost as well, knowing that you guys are liking it. And yeah, if there's anything you guys want to know, if I have missed something in this video, please just leave me a comment and I will message you back. And yeah, if there's any like videos that you want to see in the future that I also haven't thought of doing, leave a comment, let me know. And yeah, just please subscribe to my channel. I would love it. I would love to see new people here. So yeah, thanks guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.